Hello everyone. So today is hopefully a short video. I know, at least I tell myself each time I'm going to make shorter videos, but they always end up becoming relatively long. So yeah, load Ghidra. We'll open PSX, my favorite emulator for reverse engineering and debugging. So off screen, I'm just loading the right ISO. Yeah, and let's load the state. So also I've modified my script a bit. So this is the script I was using mostly for playing. Usually I have to reactivate my controller. So now that's the script which I could use for doing stuff like turning the steering. And now I got my more work in progress version. Something cool is I found the flag that switches the camera modes from, so I think there are 3 modes. The chase cam or playing cam, I wouldn't say it's the chase cam, so it's whatever cam you choose. Then there is the, I guess, cinematic cam, which is linked to the track, I suspect. And also while we're playing, if I press up or down, it switches cars, even though we're in play mode. And to prove that, let's see, how can I prove that to you? So I'm going to switch back to my car. Yeah, let's go there. There we go. So right, left, right. So this is live. And then when this flag is 0, this variable is 0, it seems like the camera remains fixed at wherever it was. So I think that is also true if we jump from 2 to 0. So I think we cannot do that with the slider. So let me just pull up that memory address. So that memory address is, so the camera replay, this one, this address. Memory 1, that address, and I'm going to set it to 00. There we go. It looks like nothing happened, but yeah, the camera is frozen. I think it's pretty funny, for the lack of a more appropriate adjective. Yeah, I think this is a good lead in trying to understand which routines are called for the camera. Another thing I found is the variable for camera pitch. So hold on, we'll stop the car. So camera pitch, up, down. So maybe that's interesting also in the replay mode. So in the cinematic mode also it can alter the pitch. So that is find number 1. Is that, oh no, of course not. 8. So I started to stomp memory addresses here, and definitely something here is related to the pit stops. So let's see. I think it was this. Let's see. No. So I mean, it's also, I think I'm lucky that I'm braking. It's not okay. There it was. So it's actually still driving, or the car is stuck. I cannot move it, and you see here, this seems to be like a counter down here, and I think this counter is for the pit stop. So if we set this one to, I don't know, 01, and then 0, it's like the pit stop has started, and when the previous byte turns, previous 2 bytes turns to 0, 0, we can continue again. So just for fun, here I'm gonna put it to 0, 1 again. It doesn't matter if you're driving. There you go. It's started the countdown, and then it attempts to make the car face the right direction, or turns it a few degrees. I don't know, maybe it's pre-programmed to turn it fixed amount of degrees. Also, I don't know if you've noticed, we've accidentally broken the wrong way, haven't we? So when I was going the wrong way, it's no longer telling us wrong way. So this is cool. I need to figure out how did I do that. Yeah, I'm pretty interested in that one now. So let's reload the state. Okay. Is it that? Or was it just that the car stopped? Okay, so this other flag is doing something to correct the car direction. Okay, so we have discovered something together. Will it stop or will it keep turning? Maybe this is a variable related to yawn. Let's see, if we make it a bigger number, will it yawn faster? It's definitely behaving differently. No. 5. Yeah, but the wrong way is still there. Yeah, that's the memory addresses for the brakes. Anyway, I'll definitely poke around more here. Oh, this is funky now. The inclination of the track is messing with it, trying to do the pit stop. Anyway, I'll definitely go back in my in this video to spot what did I do that triggered the wrong way sign to go. I don't know. I wonder if it's after swapping cams, perhaps. Maybe after we swap cams, it's no. It still shows the wrong way. What about just for fun next time? Or okay. So that was also pretty cool. We made the car. Here's definitely, I guess, something with the masks, or maybe it's even related to the address of the CLUT, so the color palette. So that's a very cool bizarre find. Anyway, so this is all fun and games, totally not that interesting. So what's interesting is this mysterious drug. And yep, I am talking about Gran Turismo. And I'm not talking about its addiction. So, wrong executable. So let's open the right one. But basically, with an emulator, you can see these print commands, these printf commands, and Gran Turismo has a few of them. So here, this is what I believe is one of the functions that prints something out. So when I'm making homebrew, I also use print commands to debug my game, because it's, let's say, faster than having some debugging tool open if all you want to check is if you reached a certain part of the routine and it says yes, routine finished, for example. Anyway, so yeah, I made some work on this section of the code. So it took some time to track down, but basically in Ghidra, so what I will do is I'll load, this is me a save state nearly finishing the game. So let me just show you this. And I'll cross the finishing the race, sorry. I'll cross the finishing line. This variable goes to mode 7, which is show the finish. Then I think it goes to mode 9, which is the results. Then 8, and then 9 when it's finished showing the results. And then it will go into the replay mode, and we'll see the camera toggle to 1. Now, here we go. We exited. Down here it's printed at the first printf, record 3. I still have no idea what this 3 means. And it says laps 2. And I'm not sure if this means we finished 2 laps or that the record was on the second lap. And since I've not felt like trying to make the second lap slower than the first lap, even though these lap times are obviously pathetic. And then you have the name entry, which in arcade mode is a 3-character name. And then it prints here, new lap, new total. New lap NDR, new total NDR. So I think this is saying that the new lap record is NDR and the new total record is NDR. So if we do, and there's other prints by the way. And maybe before I continue in the game. So there are, let's see, L, I think L, or hidden lap here. So here. So I think the easiest way is if we look for the printfs. Functions, print. So as you can see, there are many printfs. Some of these might be from Psych, as in the SDK. I'll put some warnings. Here is one of them that we've seen in the game already. Here, so this was record and laps. And here's my assumption that these variables are the record time and laps taken to finish, I don't know. So I've noticed this hidden variable counts from 0 before you cross the start finish line on the first lap. So it's 0, then lap 1. Cross the finishing line, do your second lap, and when you cross the finishing line again and it goes into the AI mode or track, predefined line driving, it changes to 3. So I don't know, maybe this variable is simply checking that you've finished on lap 3. And then the next one is this big chunk. So here it says, if, I don't know, I guess I have to understand later what this and1 means, but basically I think it's implying if we have a new record time, then it will print the new lap. Or I think this will take this function, I think, is the function which asks you to input your name, and then it will print new lap with that name. And if also the record time and 2, so maybe this is the new total lap record has been achieved, it will also print that total, but it doesn't ask your name twice. So I think in this function there must be a way it exits if you've already typed your name. But then what's interesting here is in this switch case. So this read if case 0, blah blah blah, if case 1 and case 6, blah blah blah. And I've started to try and figure out what these modes are. And in fact, I haven't changed one of them. We'll change it together. So this message, these two pairs are for when you do a race. And for me, this is totally bizarre way of doing things. So when you do time trial, it has the similar code layout. So it will make the new lap name. I don't know why instead of calling new lap, it's now lap name. And then there is new total, but this function is called with a different set of parameters. It's called with 3 parameters instead. And it's, yeah, but the printf statement is the same, it's new total. So maybe let's do a quick lap in time trial. I will pause recording and jump back to when about to cross the finishing line. Okay, about to cross the finishing line. Let's go. Finish. And now we'll confirm that the printf is no longer as it was before, which was, what was it? It said new lap, new total, NDR. So, let's hit the replay. Yes, I know, I'm very good. I have to write in my name again because it's loaded from a blank save state. And now look, it says lap name new total. So indeed, it didn't print new lap. It printed lap name. I don't know. It's so bizarre for me. I wonder if this code was in totally different places and it got optimized to be in the same place or not. So anyway, so it's clearly somehow these two modes are both time trials, or I don't know, there are two modes that make it print out in the same way. It's bizarre that the default mode will just print unknown game mode. And then there's this unknown flag, which actually now I know. I think, in fact, before I tell you what I think it is, I'll show you how I hunted this down. So, to enter this condition, we need to set a new record, and we need this switch, this race type, to be equal to the value 3 or 4, and then we need this address to be greater than -1, or the variable at this address to be greater than -1. So let's do that. I'm going to, I really should have saved, okay, here. So I'm gonna pause there, pause it this way. So what I would do is, here we go. Again, finishing the race. And now what I've done is I've set breakpoints to the writing of the address for race type and for this thing that should be greater than -1. And I'm guessing these two memory addresses are referenced by some other routine. I'm not sure. I haven't dived deep enough, but so check out what's going to happen. So it's about to write to address 3E, and address 3E is corresponding to this variable which should be greater than -1. I don't know if this is the reason, but what I'm going to do is, so at address 3E, it's currently D2. When I step in, I think it will become 3 or 5. There we go, it's 5, and what I'm going to do is change it to 0. 0 is still greater than -1. Later I'll test it. It's just one of these variables that's doing the trick. So then it's going to write to 3C, which will become 0, which makes sense because it's in race. It was a race, but we wanted to think it was a drug. Then we come to this screen, and when I press start, it's going to read those addresses. So if I enable these, see, it gets stuck on it reading those addresses. So I'm going to disable these and resume, press start, and this is what I was talking about. So here it's pulled up the non-arcade way of inputting your name. And yeah, still have a breakpoint, so resume. And it here says drug name 0 and DR008 and DR008. So I also noticed something else, right? It's printed 3 parameters. So we go to Ghidra. It's D %yes. Was that always there, even when we didn't have? I guess so, right? Because there's only 2 items. Let's see. If we do this the normal way, so again, I'm gonna load from state 2, and I'm not gonna manipulate the variables. Let's see what happens. So we go to mode 9, press start. In fact, what I'm gonna test this time is to only manipulate address 3C. So we want 3C and ignore 3E. So 3C, step in, 3C is now 0, change that to 4, let's resume. Okay, so it still asks for the full name. So definitely, yeah, we need to edit this in the nick of time before it makes use of it. And drag 0. I'm sure it says drag 0. Okay, now it says drag name 5. So is this a counter of how many times I've gone through it? Or would you think it's 5? Because you remember it wrote 0 because I typed 0. So now we need to know what is this -1. I think I got it. I think this is a counter of how many times we've tried. So let me see. I think if we exit, maybe not, because I've always loaded states. Yes. Anyway, so I spent a lot of time trying to understand what's drug. Was there? I assumed it's some Japanese English translation, dorag race, and I was thinking, oh, doragu. Maybe they wrote dorag, as in rather than drag race. And I was thinking, hey, was there going to be a drag race mode in Gran Turismo? But the Gran Turismo modding community reached out and told me, hey, wasn't there a drag mode in simulation disk? I was like, no, there's no such thing. So I was wrong. My memory is not good. There's this 0 to 100, 0 to 1000 and high speed test, and let's check this out. I'll pause again. Let's test it. Now, ironically, the drag race is one place that camera 1 or even, yeah, it's the one event where the cinematic camera works. And if we remove the heads-up display, I guess that doesn't work. But it's totally reasonable to play it like this. And now check this out. What is it gonna ask us? It's gonna ask us to write the long character name or the long. Let's see, what will the number say? So what has it printed? It's printed drug name 0 and DR008 and DR008. So I don't know, but it's pretty cool. So the same code, same functions I used for both arcade mode and simulation mode. And now you remember, I'm wondering also this high speed. I suspect this is where this tracking the maximum speed you reach during any event is used. So yeah, this is interesting. So we had here max high speed scene. Let's test it. If we make it really high, 3,555 kilometers. Okay, let's turn it back to 0 for me. Check it out. We finally understood where this variable is used. I don't remember if I have to make a whole lap to do this event. So anyway, hopefully not. Hopefully it's 1 kilometer. loop. I'll probably cut this part out too. So I don't know how far I recorded because I paused when I thought I clicked record. Anyway, so we did the max speed. It showed that my record is 5,000 kilometers an hour. So we finally know why there's a max speed. I wonder if I change this. Does it change on screen? No, it's only for during the race and before it transitions back to the records mode. And so what I did do is, now that we figured out that this mode is for drag races and max speed tests, I called those two cases which print drag name as drag or speed tests. They are for cases 3 and 4, which are down here. 5, 7, and 8, I've established that this chunk of code is almost identical to here, but I have spotted one difference. So in here, after this case, there's a break. Is there another? So case 8. No, it's the same, right? We'll exit this switches and then go to this bottom function. So I don't know. So case 8, 578, the code. So yeah. Except is bvar2. Is that the only difference? Is that the only difference? Here, there's this one flag set to true, and it's not done up here. So we just need to understand what does bvar1 do. Where is bvar1 used? Is bvar a global variable? No. Set to false and then set to true in this loop. So definitely maybe we should say bvar1. So that's all for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Again, like, subscribe, comments, complain, tell me my cap is stupid, whatever, just react. See you next time, guys.